Alright everyone, so of course as soon as I ended the video I figured out what's happening, so my eye caught this. So in this column we actually have a count of commissions. So this percentage is based on the count total, not the sum total. I was mistakenly thinking it was calculating off of here, but you have to realize it's just taking whatever this column is, and it happens to be a count. And if you remember, Kim had a few more sales, or commissions I should say, than Howard, and that's why this is higher. So first thing, so let's click in here, let's change this value field setting. And remember, there's two ways to do this. You could have right clicked over there, or you can come here and do it. So let's change this to sum. This will still be our percentage of column total is the right actual designation. And now this looks much more right. And we can double check this if we divide this by the total, 20.74. So that's what it was, guys. So sorry about that mistake. I was confused myself, obviously. So this is pretty useful information, and you can see by being able to include the same column information multiple times, we could actually include it a third time if we really wanted to, and then change one of these to value field settings. Change this one to the count. So there we go. We'd have the sum, we'd have the count, and then we'd have the percentage contribution of revenue to the total. Now, I mean, this is very useful information, but what I really want to get to is I just want a simple graph, honestly. So this might be useful if you're really digging into commissions, but for our purposes, I just want a graph of commissions. And we're going to put that on our dashboard ultimately. So the graphs we're going to be creating will be for our dashboard. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these two columns, because if we make a graph, it'll automatically include everything that's included in our pivot table. Now the way you get rid of stuff is you can just come over here, click and drag. Alright, so with still on our pivot table, if we go back to our insert ribbon and go to pivot chart is what you're looking for. So if you go to pivot chart, it's going to come up with some predefined ones. So I mean, a column chart, line chart doesn't really make sense. Column's not bad. Pie chart, which I'm actually leaning towards, so this is probably what we'll end up using. And I'm just coming over here, it kind of highlights it, makes it a bit bigger. Bar charts, area charts, like this isn't bad, but I really want the pie chart. I think that visually represents, because if you think about it, that represents the percentage as well, because really, you know, however big this is, and if you remember, Howard was 20.74, and that's what this pie slice represents. And then what we'll do is we'll actually show the dollar amounts on here as well. So let's choose pie chart and hit OK. Alright, so let's just move it up here. So we have all of our agents, so I'm going to make this just a bit bigger first of all. And I'm going to click. So if you've ever done general charts in Excel, you might be familiar with this, but you can click on pretty much any sort of item within the chart and do things to it. So like you can move it around, you can edit it. So I'm going to call this total commissions. Let's backspace and there. Let's move this. Let's say like just put this right up on top here. This, you know, we could try to make it a bit bigger. Actually, I'm not sure it's going to let me do that. It'll let me reposition it though, I know that much. Let's just move it back down here a little bit. I want to move this up because I noticed this isn't every single agent, so we'd have to expand this down here. Alright, so quite a few. Now, let's see. So one thing it doesn't have is it doesn't have the dollar amount. So let's right click on this and go add data labels. So if you click on anything within the chart, you can then, you know, this drop down menu would be different depending on what it is you chose. So I'm going to add data labels. Add data labels. So I like this, guys. What I don't like is this. It's a little bit messy, right? Like we have every single little you know, each of these people except a few were zeros, if you recall. And even that, it has the zeros in there. So do we really want that? So I'm thinking, well, you know, think about our bosses. What do they really want to know? They probably don't care about all these little ones that aren't earning anything. Maybe they care about the top 10. So maybe let's change that. So instead of this being everybody, maybe let's do, so let's click on our chart. If we right click again, let's change this to, let's see. Actually, you know where we'll do it? My mistake. Over here on our data. If we go again to value field settings, if you remember, Let's see. Nope, I might be incorrect, honestly. Let's get out of here. Somewhere here, guys. Select data, format data series. There is a way to just choose our top 10% basically. So I'm gonna get rid of this, get rid of this. It might be in here. Format, change type. I am not sure where that's at, guys. Alright, well for now let's leave this. This obviously is a mess, so what we'll do when we come back, let's see, yeah, we're up to 6 minutes. So when we come back, let me figure out that mystery. It seems like we have another little mystery on our hands. I'm just blanking on where it is. But there's a way where we can just choose to display the top 10. So what we'll do is we'll choose the top 10 in the next video. This will be cleaned up a bit, and then we can go on and let's create a second pivot table and come up with some useful information for that.